It's the move that Flames fans will be talking about for a long time. Jeff Ward pulling Cam Talbot during Game 6 of Flames Stars. We discussed this on the Hockey Podcast.
Anyway, Gurianov scores his second goal. It's 3-2. Then, and then all of a sudden, another goal tipped. I think it was Pavelski. It was Gurianov. I don't know who it was, but it's tied at 3. And we'll get to the crutch of what happened. Jeff Ward decided to pull Cam Talbot at this time. And I'm going to play.
He had an equipment issue.
Okay, yeah. Well, here's what Cam Talbot had to say. Let me see if I make sure I find it. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I just saw Ritter stand up. Looked like he was starting to gather his stuff. Didn't get a wave or anything, and just could feel it coming. Can't say I blame him. I would have done the same thing if I was him.
Okay, so let's start there. Was this the right decision to pull Cam Talbot?
Based off of what the plan was, based off of what the communicated plan was by Jeff Ward afterwards, where he wanted to pull Talbot, let him breathe a little bit and then put him back in. That was the right play. But the problem was he had that, as Dan said, he had a equipment issue at one point, and then he wasn't able to put him back in as quickly as he wanted to. But then he put him back in for the third. And I think he'd already used up his timeout. He needed something else to slow down the barrage and try and get time to talk to his team and try and get that. And that's what he used that as a tool. You can argue whether or not it was the right way to do it, but that was his thought process, and I actually like it.
I didn't think that they used the timeout already. I thought they still had that in the bag. And
Dallas used theirs. Calgary hadn't used theirs.
Calgary did not use theirs at that point in time. No.
Okay, my bad. Then you need to use the timeout. If that's the way it is, you have that instead. But the other one is, you need to let Talbot regroup. And I'm not sure, but based off of what he said there and how he was saying, I'm not sure how well he was mentally.
I thought it was a good play. I might be the minority on that, but yeah, I thought that they needed to switch it up. That momentum shift was massive in favor of the Stars, and with it being such a pivotal game and with it being so close, that's why Ward didn't use his timeout. He was going to save it until the end if it was close, and then use it in a different way if he needed to. As far as the quote unquote equipment issue, Talbot was pissed off. He went down the tunnel. He didn't want to see. He didn't want his face to be shown on broadcast of him freaking out, breaking sticks. So he left. It was a lack of communication between Jeff Ward and Cam Talbot. That is the reason why Cam Talbot was not able to get back in, because he didn't know what Jeff Ward was thinking.
Okay, and let's play the rest of what Talbot was saying.
So you don't have a problem with being pulled in the game? You thought your play warranted it?
Yeah. I mean, it was a 3-0 hockey game for us, and I've been there all playoffs for us, and when we needed it the most, I wasn't there. So some of those shots are obviously savable, and the onus is on me there. So as much as I hated getting pulled, the momentum was changing, and he had to do something.
Go ahead, Devin.
Yeah, I thought Talbot, those are positionally, those are savable shots. Yes. But I thought that I thought he played pretty well. Honestly, I didn't fault him on any of those goals really. One tipped off Backlund's stick slightly. The other one is a seeing eye shot from Gurianov that actually almost hit Pavelski in the face. And then Pavelski had an amazing high slot tip. I don't blame that on him. The reason why he got pulled was to change momentum and get some sort of mix up going. So that I know he's obviously upset, but I don't blame this game on him at all.
From a guy who's been in the room a lot this season, I can tell you that Cam wears losses hard, and Cam wears poor performance hard. And those comments of him saying he deserved to be pulled, that doesn't surprise me coming from Cam. And I've talked to him a few times. He probably wears losses and poor performance harder than he should. And I think that can mess with the goalie too. But you've got to remember, if you look at the starts for this team, we started, and I don't have them in front of me, but we started Riddick as much, if not more, than Talbot during the regular season. So I agree with Sean and Devin. I think, there's strategic purpose there. If you were changing Khudobin for Ottinger, I'd say, yeah, bad idea. But you know what? Both these goalies were Calgary's starter at different times during the year. And I use that, starter in quotes because we really didn't have a starter. But, Riddick could have gone out there. And I think it was motivation for the guys too. Guys, your goalie's not saving you. You've got to do this on your own because now we're putting a different goalie in. And it was a message to the players more than to the goalie. And players didn't rise to the occasion. So I think, it's one of those decisions that we could look at forever and criticize, but that's not what cost the Flames this game.
Okay, so if you're, Dan has said this already, so let's just delve into this here. What happened? Why did the Flames blow the lead? Why did the Flames ultimately lose this game?
Because it's what we've seen from this team all year. They can't be consistent. They don't win twice in a row. They play a good game and they crap the next one, and they can't come back late in the game. I think we saw it here, what we've seen so often. They get up 2-3 goals and they stop playing the game. This is not something that's new in this game. Usually we don't get 7 scored against us, but we can't defend. We blow leads. To me, it was typical Calgary Flames hockey from the last 5 years.
You can follow us on Twitter at podcast_hockey. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Google, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, as well as join us for live recaps during every Calgary Flame and Vancouver Canuck playoff game. Facebook.com, The Hockey Podcast.